Hello everyone, welcome to MadMaze. I'm Colonel RPG, and I'm very happy to have you here with me as I play, I don't know if it is MadMaze 2 or MadMaze 1, but the link is in the description if you want to play it. This is a very old game, and Philip, one of my amazing patrons, has very kindly asked me to play it, and yeah, there's a link for you. It's free to play right now. Well, I'm not sure if free to play applies to the game because, well, yeah. This thing was the first online game to attract over 1 million players, and it used to be provided with something called the Prodigy service, and I'm not fully sure I understand how that works, but basically people who subscribed to a certain service would be given this game access online or something like that. So let's jump into the introduction. This is the Weith village, -- your home. All your life you have lived in the village of Weith. It is a bucolic place, peopled by men and women of good cheer. The land is bounteous, and the local wine excellent, which is, of course, very important. The people are even-tempered and kind to their children, but not to other people. One day, as the planting season comes to an end, Wellen, the village elder, summons you for an audience. You know him to be responsible, kindly, and thoughtful. He rules the village not by force, but because others defer to his wisdom. After the usual exchange of pleasantries, Wellen comes to the point. These are parlous times for our people. He whose name is not spoken walks this earth again, and with him the spawn of chaos. He whose name, but that's a story told to frighten children, you claim. Wellen sighs and fixes his gaze on you. The monsters who slaughter our cattle are no children's story, nor the blood that oozes from the village wall, nor the sudden encroachment of the mad maze on our lands. And my rash young friend, you will come to fear the mad one, whose name you must never speak. Your parents, alas, spoke truly. He whose name is not spoken is an immortal, yet he is unlike the others who made our world. For he is born not of the fires of creation, but of primal chaos. Like others of his kind, he has many avatars. He is trickster, master of good and evil, and also chaos, bringer of death and destruction. He is hated and feared. Those who worship him do so to propitiate him, not out of love. Know then that where the mad maze now stands once flourished a mighty kingdom. The mad one sundered it with the stuff of chaos, and planted the evil seed what grew into the mad maze. The maze is an imperfect reflection of the mad one's fevered consciousness. Inside impenetrable walls of mist are eldritch lands, inhabited by minions of chaos, fantastic creatures, and those few strong in magic. The maze is a realm of shifting shapes and madness. Nothing can be taken for granted there. The laws of nature do not always hold. It is an intrusion of the primal chaos into our own ordered world. The hairs on the nape of your neck stand on end. Good Lord, Wellen's terrified. Wellen's terror is far more frightening than even the thought of your worst childhood nightmares come true. Pay attention to me, Wellen snaps. You jerk to attention and see the fire in his eyes. This is the Wellen, you know. I beg your pardon, sir, you reply. I was thinking, is there anything I can do to help? The elder considers you for a moment, then says, We need a runner. Me? You cry. Wellen nods. But Persephone went into the maze only 3 months ago. Wellen shakes his head sadly. We have heard naught from her. I'm sorry. Were you and she friends? I admired her, you stammer. So did I, he says, but she is gone. I have had my eyes on you for many years, says the elder. You are quick-witted, trustworthy, strong, and I trust brave. If there is anyone in the village better suited to be a runner, I know not who it may be. Time grows short. We need you to carry a message to the wizard Moraziel, who lives in the very heart of the maze, where he holds the mad one at bay with his own fell powers. Will you do the deed? Will you brave the mad maze to save everything you hold dear? You reply, It is my duty. Wonderful, says Elder Wellen. I'm very proud of you. Your parents are equally proud. Soon you are equipped with the best a village can offer a commoner. A dagger, the elder's message, plenty of clothing, which is important because it's going to be cold where we're going, and camping supplies. Tearfully, you bid your friends and family farewell. And we're going to start the game. You approach the gate, which I assume is the gate of town. A wall is closing in behind you. Really? So, this is a bobber, I believe, is the term for this style of gameplay. First person is the first few games were first person. That's very old technology, everybody knows. And yeah, so I think I should probably have a map. But I don't have a map. So let's move left. And let's keep going ahead. What is that? You knock on the door of the sage's house. A portly man answers the door. "A wayfarer, quotha," quoth he. "Enter, enter, and quaff a tankard of ale with me." I'm gonna enter. I don't know what quoth is, but I'll go with it. He pours you a tankard of ale, which you sip politely. He introduces himself as the sage Sorin, and you give him your name as well. "Now then," he says, "what brings you to these parts?" I'm going to tell him on my quest. "Ah, well," he says, "a difficult task you have set yourself. It is said that Morazia lives within the center of the great maze, beyond the 3rd level. Your first task will be to find the exit to this level, where we sit, and that itself will not be easy." You ask where the exit lies. A craftly expression appears on his face. "Haha, I believe I can help you on this, but perhaps you can help me too. You see," continues the sage, "near here there is a well in the forest. The water in the well has certain magical properties, which I find useful in the manufacture of a sovereign remedy against the ache caused by excessive imbibulation," which is drinking. "Alas, in recent weeks, a troll has taken up residence near the well, and I dare visit it no longer. If you would dispose of the troll, I will share all I know with you." I'll cheerfully agree then. "Good," says the sage. "That's settled then. Have some more ale." You ask if there is anything he can give you to help defeat the troll. "No," he says thoughtfully. "I think not. However, you might want to visit the crone Matilda. She lives not far from here. I believe she has had some experience with trolls." You're beginning to get a little woozy from the ale, so you thank the sage and continue on your way. And a wall is closing in behind you. I don't actually understand how that is thing. I don't think these things... I'm not sure... That's definitely something, right? Look at that. You approach Crone Matilda's house. The door opens a crack, and a hideous crone looks forth. There is a prominent wart on her nose, and her chin is covered in wayward hairs. "A fine young dumpling," she cackles, and throws the door open. Come in, me tender morsel." Yes, I will do that. The crone sits you down at a rickety chair. You study the stuffed bat that hangs from the ceiling and the melancholic lizard in a cage, because melancholy is a noun and melancholic is an adjective. Rather than it being because you could think that melancholy is like, an adverb, and it isn't. The crone begins to throw whole onions, carrots, and less identifiable ingredients into a pot that hangs over a fire. "Now, dearie," she begins, "tell me of your adventures while I prepare the broth." I am gonna tell her of my quest. The crone shrieks with laughter. "So you're to face the mad one toe-to-toe, dearie?" She guffaws. "The elder Wellen in what now?"
Inveigled.
"Inveigled you into that, I'll warrant." She tastes the broth. "Just right," she says, with satisfaction. She speaks a magic word, and you hurtle from your seat into the pot. It is uncomfortably warm. She pours a ladle of broth over you. "Beautiful soup," she croons, and pours some salt into the cauldron with you. Now what? Now I'm gonna ask her about the troll? I could attack. Let's ask her about the troll. "Cursed troll," she says. "Since it took up residence by me well, I've had to go clear down to the creek to fetch water." She says, getting a crafty look in her eyes. "You're a gullible, if mean, heroic one, eh? Would you like to live beyond supper time?" You assure her that you would. "Yes, I would. If you'll agree to rid me of the troll, I'll let you go." Quickly you agree. The crone helps you go from the pot. "But how can I defeat a troll?" you ask. They are fearsome monsters with large pointy teeth. Matilda lays one bony finger against her nose and winks. Know these two things, she says. Trolls cannot resist a dare, and trolls cannot swim. So, you ask blankly. You figured it out, Matilda says, testily. Now be off with you. It's pretty straightforward, actually. Trolls cannot resist a dare, and they can't swim. Well, I dare you to swim. There you go. Straightforward. Let's leave. So, I came from there. Let's turn left. I think I came from there. Yeah, look at all the... What is that? Is that the way back? I think I know what is going on. Clicking over there is like clicking over here. And basically, yeah. So, if that's selected, that's what happens. I should be using the keyboard. But, yeah, we're going to take a left here. And we're going to take another left right there. And we're going to take a right. And turn back. And continue on our way down. Ooh, you carefully tiptoe up to the well. Before you can peer down the well, a big, ugly troll appears. Arr! It says conversationally, displaying large fangs. What do you do? Well, I dare the troll to jump down the well? Yeah, let's do that. Ya dares me, huh? Says the troll. Prithee, I do, you say. Indeed, I double dare you. You do, huh? He says. Aye, you say. The troll says. I'll show you. He leaps into the well. You peer in after him. He is desperately floundering in the water below, scraping at the slick walls. Eventually, he sinks, and the last bubbles disappear. A portly man emerges from the surrounding wood. You recognize the sage Tsorin, who lives in these parts. Bravo, my friend, he says. Bravo. Indeed, well done. I must thank you for ridding our well of that pest. He peers down the well. However, he says, I fear the decaying body will poison the water. Ah, well, perhaps we can fetch it out. He turns to you. Nonetheless, so heroic a deed deserves its reward. I will tell you what little I know that may help you on your quest. Far away, in Maze Purpur, he says, lies the castle Perilous, once the seat of good King Carlon, now whence the usurper Timosel, the Mad Lord's lackey, rules this land. It guards the only entrance to the lower maze. You must brave its perils to succeed in your quest. It is said that Carlon lies imprisoned in those walls, in an eternal sleep, awaiting a hero who will awaken him so he may deliver our lands from evil. Perhaps you are that hero. But the castle Perilous is well guarded. It's not purple. Okay, well, he doesn't know the name of the castle, does he? It is said there are secret entrances, but I know no more of that. It is said that only a hero with a magic blade may free King Carlon, but where such a blade may be found, I know not. And that, my young friend, is all that I may tell of these matters. Godspeed and all haste in thy journey. He points east. A wall is closing in behind you. I believe I may... Let's try saving. I believe this is a new area. So this location in the MadMaze will be stored so that you may return directly to it next time. Note that this location will replace any previously stored locations unless you cancel or escape. Actually, open square parentheses, escape, close, either way. Your position has been marked to return to this location the next time you enter the MadMaze. Select the choice 1, continue your adventure from the MadMaze menu to continue. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's keep going ahead. It was just keep going. I don't think these matter for anything. Just keep going ahead. Oh, nothing out down here. Let's take a left. Keep going. Left. Oh, we're doubling back. Yep. Okay, so that's where I came from. Let's keep going ahead. Ooh, suddenly, the questing beast appears. In an instant, The questing beast pounces upon you and knocks you flat upon the ground. It holds you in its fearsome claws, its full weight across your length. Resistance is futile.
I am the questing beast, it says in a matter-of-fact tone. Whosoever wishes to pass must answer a riddle I will pose.
And if I refuse, you ask. It yawns.
If I am sufficiently hungry, I shall consume you. If not, I shall force you to return from whence you came.
We're gonna ask for a riddle then.
Very well then, says the beast. Know ye, wanderer, that the hero Brandisbane and Lichlord Fen, though they lived in different eras, fought many wars against the kingdom of Middlemark and the duchy of Norston. Neither conquered any other lands. Brandisbane the Great fought 10 wars of conquest in total. He conquered Norston twice, as often as Lichlord Fen.
Well, I should be noting these down, I think.
The fearsome Fen, on the other hand, conquered Middlemark 3 times as often as the hero Brandisbane, and fought 20 wars of conquest in total. I have 2 questions. Primus, how many times did Brandisbane conquer Middlemark? Secundus, how many times did Fen conquer Norston?
Okay, well, I shouldn't be writing these down because it's letting me have all the information in here. This is good. Because I have a notepad with me, and I can note down all these things. So, we know what we are supposed to determine. So, we're gonna say B for Brandisbane conquers, or basically Brandisbane winning, and then the F for the Fen winning. So, we know that we're dealing with often things over here, and we know that Brandisbane over here fought 10 times. So, we're just going to write them down right here, and we also know that the Fen, the fearsome Fen, fought twice, or fought twice as much, which I fear is going to be very important because of that 3 right there. Although, yeah, we'll see. So what we know is this. Let's try to make it so that our variables make sense in here. Because if they don't make sense, that's going to be a pain in the ass. And also, there's Norston and Middle. So we're going to say Nor, and we're going to say Mid, and we're going to say these are Nor B and Mid B, and we don't know these values or how many of these ones there are. So we're just going to go with that. And then on this side, we're going to go with Nor F equals Y, and then Mid B equals Z. There we go. So what we're trying to decide is we're trying to define these numbers over here, W, X, Y, and Z. And we are defining how many times B conquered Nor, and how many times B conquered Mid. And then on this side, the F over here, that's a typo, sorry. The F conquered Nor, and the F conquered Mid. And we know these are here. So we have, the game is actually giving us very little information, but I think that's all the information that we need. Because we know that the amount of times, and I'm going to say that often over here doesn't mean often, because often implies frequency, and we're not dealing with frequency. I don't see the numbers working out that way. I'm pretty sure they're not. I don't think 3 and 2 can work out to 10 and 20. They could, but we can make the math both ways, and so we can think of it like that. I'm predicting it's going to be a 6/4 somewhere, and then on the other one is going to be a 12/8 somewhere like that, because it's just sort of intuitive like that, because the numbers are relatively small. You can always, guess. But I'm not going to guess. We're going to go through the maths. So what we're looking at here is how many times Brandisbane, which is B, has conquered Norston. So Nor B equals 2 Nor F. So we're going to go 2Y right there. Simple. Straightforward. And the game is also telling us that Mid F, which is the amount of times the Fen has conquered Mid, is basically 3X. So we can just put them over here if we want to. Right there. Right there. Perfect. Okay, that's not overly confusing. That's pretty important. Because now we can convert these into another way of looking at it. We know that 10 is the same as 2y plus x. And that is because, it's these two victories over here are the 10. And then on this side, over here, we know that 20 is the same as y. Oh, I'm seeing it. Yeah, it's definitely not often. This is not correct. Often is not the word to use there. Is as although it sort of works. No, it doesn't work. It often implies frequency. You cannot use that. It doesn't. Yeah, you can't use that. But anyway, I'm seeing the solution here. So the 20 over here is y plus 3x. And so how we're going to do this? Well, we're going to double these, because that way we can come back to them anytime we want. In fact, we can just add zeros to here, and to all of these, and just be like 10, 10, just add 10s and do whatever we want to the solves, and it works the same because the maths are crazy like that. So we have a 20 over here. We're going to make this a 4y and a 2x right here. So 20 equals these. So that means that this value over here is the same as this value over here. And that's pretty important, because now what we do, while preserving the internal structure of the maths here, is we know these values right here. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for things that cancel out. And look at that y. That can be turned into a y on this side. And we say that 3y plus 2x equals 3x. And I think I could brute force it right now, but I'm not gonna. What we need to do is we need to bring this 2x over to here, because we know that if 3 plus 2 equals 5, for example, then 3 equals 5 minus 2. And that's how I think of my maths, because I majored in archaeology. Last time I had math, I was 14. So basically what that means is that 3y equals x. Please tell me I didn't reach a... Wait. I didn't reach a meaningless conclusion here. 3y equaling x is pretty important. Because look at that. Look at what x is. Look at what x is. That means there's a relationship to the 10. 2y. That's really straightforward. Because you can just say, you can see it already, y is 2. But you can just say that 10 equals 2y plus 3y, which obviously is 5y, right? You just transform that into that, which means that 5y is 5 times y, obviously, which means that 10 over 5 equals y, and that's 2. So we know that y is 2, which means we know that w is 4. I told you, it was 6 and 4. And then we 3 over here on the 3x. We know what x is 6. So 3 times, yeah, it's 18. Oh, I was wrong on the 12 to 8. Yeah, well, there it is. So this is all based on the assumption. It's an intuition more than an assumption that this is wrong. And the reason why it's an intuition is because if you start having percentiles, you're going to be dealing with 0.33333%, which is okay. You can do that. But when you're multiplying by 2, these are 2 prime numbers, and it freaks out. Actually, wait. Is 2 a prime number? 2 is a prime number. Yes, I'm not wrong. Either way, we have the numbers over here. We're ready to answer. Let's do it. How many times did Brandisbane conquer Middlemark? That would be mid-B. That's 6 times. Correct! Shouts the beast, with a voice like a gong. Brandisbane conquered Middlemark 6 times. And how many times did Fen conquer Nordston? That'd be Nor F. 2. I'm ready to answer the question. Twice indeed. The questing beast seems almost sad. Indeed, he says, shaking his massive head. Giggity. Fen conquered Norston but twice. Between the 30 wars of conquest, your race is a bloodthirsty one. With a sigh, he gets off your chest and wanders into the wood, leaving the path open to the east. I liked that. I like that. It was simple enough. It's so good that it wasn't percentiles, because the percentiles were not going to work. But it's a shame that often is used wrong. Like, like there is a possibility where you can think of it not being wrong, because language is complicated, but If I win 2 out of 2, I win just as often as if I won 100 out of 100. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're moving. We're moving. And we're gonna get more questing beasts, hopefully. Oh, it's turning back around. We're just going around the maze, really. Which I am absolutely fine with. Ooh, you stand before a blacksmith's forge. The blacksmith stands under the spreading yew tree. One hand raises a mallet high, the other holds tongs that clasp a rod of glowing metal. As you watch, the smith beats the metal into a horseshoe and quenches it in water. "Well met, good traveler," he says. You are surprised at the cultured tone. "How may I help you?" I'm gonna ask if he has any magic swords, because I need one. "Swords in plenty," he responds. "Of magic, none." Figuring any sword is better than no sword, you ask for one. "Forgive me," he says, flexing his impressive muscles, "but there is the matter of payment." You realize you have nary a copper to your name. Can I ask for information about this maze? "Well, I can tell you one thing, traveler. The only exit from this maze lies across my property." He flexes his mighty thews. Muscles bulge alarmingly. "Whosoever seeks to cross it must satisfy me, if you know what I mean. If you wish to cross my land, you must pay a toll." "But I have no money," you respond. "Then you must answer me a question," says the blacksmith. "Despite my profession, I am an educated man. I see many who brave the dangers of the maze. It distresses me that most have bad grammar." You say that, the game just used often incorrectly. Also, it used melancholy as a adjective, and that upsets me even more than the often. "Tossing these and thous about like a peasant sowing grain." That's not bad. Is that bad grammar? I suppose. Let's continue. "I will let you pass," says the blacksmith, "if you tell me when the word thou is properly used." It replaces you. Well, as a non-native English speaker, this is very good for me. I have the best education for this game. math puzzles and English, old English grammar. Well, we can be immediately dismissive of some of the options here. When being formal, familiar, and rude, those are irrelevant. Only when talking to the gods, that's no. Singular you is the second person plural. No, I'm pretty sure it has to be with a possessive thing. Let's see. So yeah, you is the second person plural. But the single version of the singular version is ye. Or is that the other way around? Ye is the plural of you. I don't know. When being a pretentious skink, I don't know what skink is. And only if you are a Quaker. I must be wrong on the ye. Ye is the plural. No, I don't know. It may be an old I don't know. I must be wrong on this. It has to be this one. When talking to the gods. No, the singular you, right. Or the singular version of you, because you is the second person of the plural version. Why do you say it's second person plural? Plural is, I mean, I understand that it's probably convention, but it should be second plural person, because plural is the adjective, person is the noun. Isn't that how it works? Although it could be the modifier, which English allows for you to add after, although often with commas. Let's go with this one, see what happens. He shakes his head sadly. "The language decays in these decadent times," he says. "Now, he, thee, hence, till thou better thy speech." What? Wait, I can go back? Thee is the possessive. Is it when being formal? What? I can just go back, which is lovely. No, actually, this is not lovely. There we go. I can just brute force it then. I will absolutely brute force it. So we know it's not being formal. Is it only when you are a Quaker? No. I think, yeah, that makes more sense if I say the Quaker one, because he's like, "Oh no, your speech is so bad." And I'm like, shut up. I have no idea what this is. All the time. Yep. Wow. Did I miss... Only when talking to the gods. No. Yeah, I think we don't know what it is. I think there's another secret to that word in his eyes. There must be, right? Left. The lack of any sense of orientation really makes me think that I'm just going around the map. That's a double back there. Okay, let's take a right here. And a left here. Oop. Let's go ahead. And a right there. And ahead. And a right here. I'm absolutely lost now. Oh, man. And I don't know how to use the word Tao. I am such a scrub. But I'm out of time for the day. So, for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been MadMaze. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, you can check the game for yourself in the description. There's a link. You are going to need to disable your pop-ups on your browser, because this is a sort of a browser game now. And you need to disable your, enable your pop-ups, really. You need to disable your pop-up blocker, because the browser will complain about the things. And here I am again. But maybe I need to tell him on my quest. Huh. Yeah, truly it is written that there is one born every minute. It's the idiot. He's calling me an idiot. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you again, Philip, for your patience, for your amazing support. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.